Hi everybody, it's Colin McEwen from the New Fly Fisher. I'm really excited because today what I'm going to do is talk about my 5 top flies you should try for big trout in 2024. All these patterns are proven, we've used them, they work really well, and more importantly, I've got the fly tying instructions for all of them in the description box below. Let's get started. So the first fly I want to talk about is the Bronze Goddess. This fly was actually invented by a gentleman from Iowa by the name of Mike Bryce, and he invented it for smallmouth bass fishing. But it's actually got great application for trout fishing, especially in certain parts of the American West, down in Pennsylvania, wherever crayfish are, this pattern works, especially in sizes 4 and 6. You don't want it too big. This is actually a fairly large one. Probably a little bigger than what you want, but you use this fly and bang it against the bank, put it into pools, intermediate line, maybe a sink tip, short leader. It's so deadly. Just pulling it along, skipping it, bouncing it, and the trout just hammer it. You'll feel the weight or you'll feel the strike, because they eat a lot of crayfish, and a lot of anglers don't know that. They're always thinking nymphs, they're always thinking streamers. This crayfish pattern can produce big results for you for trout fishing. The next fly I want to talk about that a lot of people realize works for trout is egg patterns. Now, I mean, everybody knows about using egg patterns for salmon and steelhead, especially Great Lakes steelhead. But a lot of people don't realize that egg patterns work all season long for brown trout, rainbow trout, brook trout, and those who Euro nymph, a lot of them will use these with a weight in the front, with a bead, and it's super deadly. Now this pattern, the pattern I'd recommend, is tied by Jeff Blood. This is the inventor of the fly. It's so easy to tie. You can bang out a bunch of them really quick. I like to use McFly foam to make these flies, and if you use them in sizes 10 to 16, I'd say size 12 is probably my most popular. It's super deadly, and I think it's got a lot to do. I like the lighter cutters like this. The little, see the dot there? That is what makes this fly so deadly. Because if you look at eggs and how they change over time after they've been laid by different fish, they get that dot, okay? It's part of how they're decaying or getting ready to hatch. But the key is trout are looking for these things, especially, you know, think of the fall. Brown trout go up, spawn. Even brown trout themselves will go drop back and be feeding on their own eggs. Rainbow trout in the spring, brook trout in the fall. Trout are looking for eggs, they work. Sizes 10 to 16, the blood dot, very, very effective. So the next fly I want to talk about is probably my favorite streamer that I've been using the last few years for big trout, and it's called the meat whistle, invented by Jim Barr. And the person who got me actually to know about this fly was Tim Flagler, who used it down in Argentina with great success to trigger big trout to eat. And I think that's why I like this fly so much. You cast it out, bang it against the bank, strip it back fast or jerk strip it, and it seems to have the silhouette and the action that triggers all those predatory instincts that you want out of a big trout. Like, it just brings them to life, even on a day when they're not eating. It has the right triggers. The colors to use are, like this rust is probably my favorite. I've tied it in olive, black, even chartreuse. I mean, if it's not chartreuse, it's of no use. But, you know, probably my number one is this rust color or dark browns. They work so well, you know, and you're using a jig hook here. The meat whistle is an outstanding fly, sizes 2, 4, and 6. I strongly recommend it for big, big trout. My fourth fly, and one I've really come to love and works super well, is the Gurglar. Now, a lot of people know about the Gurglar for use in saltwater, but in freshwater for trout, this thing is wicked deadly. It was invented by the infamous Jack Gartside, who is quite a character in his day. He originally invented it for smallmouth bass, like a lot of the patterns I'm talking about. But the key is, if you use this pattern in fast water for brook trout, I've caught rainbow trout with it, and it works on brown trout, and you put it in the fast water and wiggle it, put it on the seams near rocks, you'd be amazed at the results you get with one of these simple gurglers. Trout, they see it, they know it's a mouse, or they think it's something that's big, could be a stonefly. The key is this marabou tail gets wet, and when you're wiggling it, the whole thing comes alive, plus it's popping, it's like a popper. Trout hammer it. I've caught some of my biggest brook trout in Labrador on this fly. And it's kind of like the secret fly of a lot of guys I've talked to in Alaska and Northern Canada. Give it a try this season. The last fly pattern I want to show you, and is probably the least known for river fishing, is the Bruised Leech. So this is a balanced Bruised Leech, which was invented by a gentleman by the name of Jerry McBride, who came up with the concept of making balanced flies. But the person who made the Bruised Leech series of flies, because they got different colors of this, is Phil Rowley. Everybody in stillwater fishing, which is lake fishing, knows about this pattern. It's really very effective. But myself and a bunch of people I know started using this in river fishing for smallmouth bass and trout and steelhead, Great Lakes steelhead. Wicked effective, especially in this purple. You have to use a semi-seal fur, and this has got a marabou tail. But the key is you put this below an indicator. It works really well. Just put it like 6 inches off the bottom, if you can figure out what the bottom is, and let it go along in the current. Trout will grab it. The other way is to Euro nymph it. You can put a slightly heavier weight on the nose here, or I know somebody who uses tungsten very effectively, and he Euro nymphs it. Because again, small little leeches. Well, these are going down in the current, just like big hellgamites or stoneflies. Key is the trout grab it. And I know it's worked very well for us this past year when we were Great Lakes steelheading in Ohio and Pennsylvania. It works for smallmouth bass in my local rivers. I've used it for brown trout out west, and it works really, really well. And nobody knows about it. Everybody knows about lake fishing, but not many anglers try it on streams and rivers. Super deadly. So all the patterns I've talked about, I have them in the description box below with links to fly tyers who did a great job tying these flies. Give them a try, add them to your arsenal for 2024, and I think you're going to have a lot of success on the water with them. Thanks for watching.